Hello there, my name is Michael Maynard and welcome back to Gorilla Picking. Now, the lock that you see in front of you is a very interesting little beast. It is called a Mauer DT1 and we'll zoom in a minute and give you a good look at that key, but you'll see that on the bow there it says DT1 made by Mauer, and this is a great lock. Now, it was sent to me by Randy Perkins about 6 months ago. So Randy, thank you 1,000 times for sending this lock, but I have to confess it has been a wee bit of a hospital pass, this lock, because you look at it and you think, oh okay, well it's just a fairly simple sort of a lock, you know, so let's zoom on it a wee bit. It's a Euro profile and it's got a nice big wide open keyway, a little bit complicated, but you know, nothing too wide, nothing too narrow at least, and you can certainly get a pick in there very easily indeed. That's the tromp. Only 6 pins, a little bit of drill protection, and you think, yeah, right, well, you know, it's probably not going to be that hard. And then you see the side of the lock and you go, okay, there's something going on here. And what that something is, folks, is an active pin. Now, I, in general, am not a great fan of active elements in locks. I think they're a little bit more complex than they need to be. But lock manufacturers love them because they give them ultimate control over their keys. So if you are going to make a 3-star lock, so this is a, if you can just see it there, a 3-star rated lock, you need to demonstrate that you've got good key control. And in fact, this wee key here has an active element built into it. So you can see just on the side of the key here, in its out portion, let's say, it's back in the key like that, and then if you push it from the side, it sort of pokes up out of the key blade like that. And this is something, of course, that unless you get the exactly correct blank from the factory, you're not going to be able to duplicate. So this means that the guy down at the hardware shop cannot make one of these keys. So again, gives you lots of key control. And from Mauer's point of view, it also gives you an excuse to sell a slightly more expensive lock, let's be honest. So this is a slightly more expensive system. There are 26 different types of key blanks, so lots and lots of different combinations of these, and the website says there are 1.28 million key differs, so 1,228,000 in fact different keying combinations, so a pretty high security lock. Now, I have picked this a couple of times and it is a difficult lock to pick. You have to pick it in certain stages. So with this particular one, you pick the standard pins first. It drops into a tiny little false set. You then have to pick the active element. It drops into a deeper false set. There is then a spool in the standard pins that you have to pick. You pick that and you lose your false set. Then you have to pick the active pin all over again, and then there's 1 or 2 more pins to go after that, and finally you get the open. So it's a lock that you have to do in several stages. Now, I have done that 2 or 3 times, and with luck we'll do it on the camera in a second. What I have not yet done though is strip this thing down, so I am going to be really interested to see what we have got inside this beast. So with all that said, let's get this thing clamped up in the vise, let's pick it, and then let's strip it down and see what we've got. Back in a second, guys. Okay folks, well, there's the key. The key works beautifully, easy bitting as you can see. There's nothing really terribly difficult about that, but of course we have got that little active element there that I'm poking with my finger. Now, to begin with, we are going to use the Trom, so we can get this first part of the picking done easily. We have got a click there on 6, a click on 5, a click on 4, a click on 3, 2 is springy, okay, and a click and a tiny turn on 1. Now that is all you get for your first false set. That's it. That tiny turn is all we've managed. Now the next thing we've got to do is get this side pin thing set, and this is where it gets tricky because you can very easily lose the pins that you've got set. There we go. Okay, so we now dropped into a deeper false set, and at this stage I am going to swap to a Peterson number 5 because I need to lift this pin number 2 quite a long way up. Now we're just searching for the false set. There we go, we've got it again. Okay, so we're now on pin 2, and we are going to let that counter rotate. So here we go, cranking it up, and we're going to drop everything else in the process. Click. But we got 2, and sometimes one binds and sometimes it doesn't. One's kind of funny here. I'm just going to check one with the Tron because I've got better feel with that. Yeah, okay, alright. I think at this point we have got most things except for that side element picked and maybe 1 or 2 top pins again. Okay, so got to go back in and pick this side thing yet again. And again, we're going to need huge amounts of leverage on this thing and just bang it through what seems like into the other side of the lock. We really do have to exert a stupid amount of torque on this thing. There we go. We've dropped into our deeper false set again. We are now within 1 or maybe 2 pins of getting the thing open. So I'm just going to back that out a little. And 6, click, 5, boom, and we're open. Okay, all right. So complex picking, eh? There were several things that we had to do. Now, I'm going to be honest. I have absolutely no idea how to pull this thing apart. So I am going to lock it back up again. I think we can safely do that because we do have the key. Hell, how are we going to do this? Oh wow, okay, alright, there's a kind of a lever arrangement on the side there. Goodness me. Alright, we're going to take out the top, the key pins first. Oh wow, okay. Alright, so we have got all the key pins out now. What I notice is that all of those key pins are standard, as you would expect. They are all steel, so they are drill protection. Now let's zoom in on this thing here. Here is our active element, our little active arm, and it's a very cool little thing. So here's the little knobble that we've got to get out of the hole in the body of the lock. Here is the arm itself. So when we get in there, we are pushing the arm up from the inside of the lock body, like so. That's why we had to move the thing so far. And what I notice is that there are several different positions we could have that in. So quite clearly, this can be moved forwards and backwards to give us different positions for the active element on the key. Now the other thing I notice is that we've actually got provision for what looks like key control pins here, passive pins on the side as well. That's how they're getting those 26 different key profiles. This is a very, very clever lock, folks. It really is. All right, now let's have a look and see what is in the top. And I'm guessing it's not going to be terribly complex. Well, didn't that turn out to be interesting? Now, we have got an absolutely potpourri of pinning here. So we have got all steel pins for a start, so no brass rubbish in this. This is a high precision lock. Next point. We have got 1, 2 standard pins. We have got 1, 2 spools, and then in 5 and 6 down the end here, we have actually got T-pins. So let's just see if I can get that framed adequately. Here we go. We have got 2 T-pins down the end of the lock. This is a very, very cunningly pinned lock. Didn't really help it though. Okay, so we were able to pick that reasonably easily once we knew its secrets. But I just want to go over again how they're dealing with the key control here, folks. So we have got this active element in the side here. It is simply a little lever that you push up from the inside of the lock, and it pivots down to bring this little knobble on the arm out of what is effectively a sidebar groove. So if you look up the side of the lock here, you'll see that there is a sidebar type groove there on the side that engages with that little arm. We have to push that out of there. So it's on or off. It's a binary thing. It does, however, come in different positions, so it can be further up or back on the cylinder, which of course means that this little active element can be either up or back in several different positions here. And then on top of that, and not in fact in play in this lock, we have got on the other side position for 1, 2, 3, 4 passive key control pins as well. Very, very clever, very, very high precision. Great lock, I have to say. So even though I'm not a fan of active elements on keys and in locks, guys, this is a lock that I think does a very, very good job. It's simple, okay, and a lot of the active elements are needlessly complex, so I'm going to give this one a pass mark. I love it. I think it's a great lock. Again, it is the Mauer DT1. My name's Michael Maynard. This is Gorilla Picking, and 1,000 thanks to Randy Perkins for sending it. I'm very grateful, Randy. Leave your comments below. I'd love to know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys.